Steps in thy word. I don't know if you've heard this in a song, but this is really a scripture, a verse that I would want to hold to memory. And this is Psalms 119 and 133. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. And this is read along with Psalms 17 and 5. Hold up my goings in thy paths, that my footsteps slip not. You don't want your footsteps to slip. And to pray this, that's why it's good to pray scripture. And the reason to pray scripture is because you're going right straight when you're praying. Scripture is going in the presence of the Lord. You're praying scripture. He's going to hear his word. Hold up my goings, verse 15, verse 5, 17 and 5. Hold up my goings in thy paths, that my footsteps slip not. And then Psalms 119 and 33. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. Okay? Verse 6. I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me, O God. Incline thine ear unto me, and hear my speech. Okay? I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me, O God. Incline thine ear unto me, and hear my speech. 106, Psalms 116 and 2. Psalms 116 and 2. Go there. Okay? Because he hath inclined his ear unto me, therefore will I call upon him as long as I live. Psalms 116 and 2. Because he hath inclined his ear unto me, therefore will I call upon him as long as I live. That's word, people. When you're going through storms and when you need God to hear you, scripture. Always scripture. And you don't need to have a whole bunch of words. Look at this. Because he hath inclined his ear unto me, therefore will I call upon him as long as I live. This is Psalms 116 and 2. And this is along with verse 17 and 6. I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me, O God. Incline thine ear unto me, and hear my speech. Let's go to verse 7 of 17. Psalm 17. Show thy marvelous loving kindness, O thou that thou savest by thy right hand them which put their trust in thee, from those that rise up against them. Let's go to Psalms 31 and 21. 31 and 21. 31 and 21. 31 and 21. Blessed be the Lord, for he hath shown me his marvelous kindness in a strong city. And a strong city is a fortified. Strong city, fortified city. fortified city. In a strong city, meaning fortified. It's fortified. And look at it's 17 and 7. That's what I'm talking about. 31 and 21. In a fortified city, he has held me. This is God. Show thy marvelous loving kindness, O thou that savest by thy right hand them which put their trust in thee from those that rise up against them. Let's go to 8. Keep me as the apple of thy eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. You heard that. I talked about that in Psalms 139. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Keep me as the apple of the eye. And you know, if you think about the apple of the eye, right there, if you look at your pupil, as the apple of the eye, right there, as the apple of the eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wings. And that's powerful, right there. That's powerful. As the apple. And that's God. Oof. Verse 9, from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. And he's talking about who compass me about, who surround me. Who surround me. When he says compass me about, who surround me. Let's go to 27 and 12. 27 and 12. 27 and 12. Psalms 27 and 12. Deliver me not over unto the will of mine enemies, for false witnesses are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. Okay? He says, deliver me not over unto the will of mine enemies, for false witnesses are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. Okay? He says, from the wicked that oppress me, from the deadly enemies who compass me about, who surround me. Okay? He says, they are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. And verse 11, and they have now compassed me, surrounded me. And they have now compassed us in our steps. And they have set their eyes, let me back this up a little bit, eyes bowing down to the earth. Okay, verse 88 and 17. Let's go to 88 and 17. 88 and 17. 88 and 17. Okay, 88 and 17. They came round about me daily like water, and they compassed me about together. Together. They came round about me daily like water. They surrounded me about together. And they compassed me, but they surrounded me. And compassed, surrounded me about together. Y'all hear that? Mm-hmm. And this is David describing his enemies. And verse 12, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Let me read that again. Now, you know what a lion does, okay? And you know how a lion acts. It says, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey. And prey, P-R-E-Y. And as it were, a young lion lurking in secret places. Let's go to Psalm 7 and 2. Psalm 7 and 2. Page just keeps sticking together. Psalm 7 and 2. See, there it goes again. 7 and 2. Now listen to what it says. Lest he tear my soul like a lion, rendering it in pieces, while there is none to deliver. Tearing. Lest he tear my soul like a lion, rendering it in pieces, while there is none to deliver. That's what David says. And this is how he's feeling. Verse 13. He says to the Lord, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. From men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. Luke 16 and 25. Let's go to Luke 16 and 25. Luke 16 and 25. Luke 16:25. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. Now, let's go back to this again. Let's read it again, okay? Let's go back to read this. The 14th verse of 17. From men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world which have their portion in this life, which have thy portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. Okay. 16, Luke 16 and 25 says, But Abraham said, let's get this straight. But Luke 16 and 25 says, But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted. Now, I don't know if you remember the story of Lazarus, but I want to go back a little bit in this story of Abraham and and the beggar of Lazarus. Let me go up here a little bit. Listen to this story because I want to tell it. Okay, I'm going to go up to Luke 19th verse and Luke 16 and 19. Okay, I want to tell this story of Lazarus. Okay, let me see if I can get this right. Let me see. Okay, and Luke 16 and 19.